Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode 6, now out for you guys to go and check out. I've just watched it. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. Smash yours down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's talk about Ted Lasso Episode 6 of Season 3 right now. Okay, so now the 6th episode is out, and man, I tell you what, this show is just incredible. It is so freaking wholesome. It is so good. What I love about this show more than anything else is just the way that they treat their side characters. And this episode, they do such a good job of exploring some more character arcs when it comes to these side characters. Now, this episode is they go to Amsterdam to play Ajax in a friendly match. And it obviously doesn't go well. They get thumped 5-0, and now they have the night out in Amsterdam. And if you guys know about the stories of Amsterdam, it's like anything goes all the time in Amsterdam. It's crazy in there apparently. So they all now have no curfew. Ted gives them the night. I don't want to see your face until tomorrow morning on the bus. Go do whatever you want. Be out as late as you want or anything like that. And I love the moment where Roy's just like, nope, Jamie, you're coming with me. We're going to training. And look, we're going to start off with Jamie and Roy in this episode because I am loving this dynamic between them two. Them two, they are just becoming so much like more than just what they were as characters. Like these two, remember that first season, they hated each other. They absolutely couldn't stand. You couldn't leave them in the room without anything happening. And now they are like almost inseparable. They are just attached at the hip. And this relationship, the building process that has been going on in the last 2 seasons, is coming to fruition. And you see that in this episode. You see Roy start to open up to Jamie. Like he starts to open up about his grandfather's death and why he couldn't ride a bike. Like when would you, if I ever told you that after watching the first season, that Jamie would start to open up to, Roy would start to open up to Jamie, of all people, you'd be saying I'm having a laugh at you. Like that's just bullshit. That's not going to happen. But that's where we are. And that's just the testament to how great the writing is. And then you have Jamie opening up to him. It's like they're like brothers now, and I'm loving that. And oh man, I could just tell the amount of fun I was having with the whole Roy trying to learn how to ride a bike scene. I can only imagine how much fun that those two had shooting that scene. That just looked like they were having a ball, and it was hilarious. I loved every moment of it. We now have Rebecca finding someone in Amsterdam as well. As she falls into the canal, she gets onto the boat where the guy is, and she spends the night with him. Not like obviously in bed, but like to get to know him and that. And this is Rebecca starting to come to terms of like leaving the old bitterness behind and coming out and flourishing as a flower now. I know that's a great analogy, isn't it? Thank you. I come up with that just then. It's brilliant. But she is coming into her own, and it makes me so happy to see her character finally getting the happiness she deserves. And I hope it's not just a one-off thing. I hope that guy comes back because he seemed like a good dude, and the chemistry was all there. And I tell you what, Hannah is just absolutely superb. Like she is fantastic. She just plays this character so well. And it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we had all that going on, that dynamic. And I love the ending with Rebecca on the bus and how she's like, everything's gonna be all right. Like, it's brilliant. It's so good to see her character finally do that. We also have, meanwhile, the team is trying to figure out what to do, but they have to agree on something to do. And they're going through, they want to see a sex show. I mean, so many things. Like, one of them wants to go to a party that's 2 hours away. And I love their dynamic and them trying to figure it out. And then when they finally, like, it was like to the point where I was like, they're not going to agree on anything and they're just going to stay in the hotel the whole entire time. And then they finally come up with something and it's a massive pillow war. And look, you may be like, what? That's so stupid. But it's not. I'm telling you right now, there is just nothing better than just grown men just as a team just beating the shit out of each other. I just don't know what it is. Like it's something that bonds us all together. Like when you have been in a team sport or anything like that, you know that like the boys just when you're with the boys, it's just something different, and you don't need to go out and get drunk to have fun, and that's what I love about it. It's this idea that they can bond over anything and everything, and I love that they had that giant pillow war going on, and they're just belting each other with it. Like boys will be boys, and that's what it is, and I love that because it's so realistic, and it's what we love to do. Like that's what we do. That really is. So I love that moment. We also have this beautiful moment where Colin, some of you may know him as Hughes, the guy that was gay in the last few episodes. Well, he doesn't want to go because they're talking about going to the sex show and everything like that. He doesn't want to do that. So he fakes to be sick, and then he sneaks out of the hotel and he goes to a gay bar. Trent sees that because Trent's with him as well, and I'm loving that Trent's with the team because I think he's coming to his own as a character, and he sneaks out and goes with him. Now, I had my suspicions about Trent and like his sexuality and everything like that, and I believed he was going to be gay. And we find out in this episode that he was. And that's why he hasn't told anyone about the secret, because he could have easily exposed that secret and like made a lot of money from it, but he chose not to. And I love when they're sitting there and Colin's pouring out his heart to him and talking about having two different lives, having his professional life, his sports life, and then having his dating life. And like this realization that he just wants to be able to, after a win, to go up and kiss his boyfriend like the other dudes get to do, to kiss their girlfriend and wives. Like he just wants that. He wants to be able to not have this thing, and he talks about it. And it's a really heartfelt scene, and that's what I mean about the side character development. He's a side character. He's not like a focal point of the story, but to develop him like that, there are sports people out there, like whether or not you can say whatever you want, you can say, well, just woke or anything like that, but today there are people in this team sport that are feeling the exact same way as this character is, and it's not fair that they can't express themselves after a win or anything like that. Like they should be allowed. We shouldn't have to judge them on that. And I think it's brilliant. And it's not in your face. It's not like shoving it down your throat. It's a real world thing. And we know that some people have had this. We know in the A-League, the Adelaide player came out. So it's a realistic theme in today's world, especially in sports, that is being addressed. And I really liked it, and I thought it was great, and I thought Trent Grimm was fantastic in that moment as well. Like there's so many great things about this show, and it's not woke. If anyone says that, they're just absolutely BSing themselves. We also had Coach Beard try to give Ted like these drugs, and then he goes off, and at the end Coach Beard comes back with this thing. It's hilarious. And Ted goes on his little thing. After he drinks the tea, he goes out and he goes to this American bar and everything like that. And he starts to hallucinate and everything like that. And he thinks he has created total football, like the Barcelona way, the Ajax way. He thinks he has created that. And when he was explaining it, and like, they all moved, like positions basically mean nothing as long as you fill the space in it. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, he is literally describing the Barca way. Like, this is how Barcelona play. This is how Manchester City play. This is how Bayern have played. This is how like a lot of teams play now. This is the modern day football. That's how Johan Cruyff changed the game by doing that, by playing that style. And he thinks he does. And I love when Coach Beard's like, it's called total football. It was created here. And I just love that. And so now we know that they're going to play a very similar style to the bigger boys that do play that style. So we're talking like the Manchester Cities, the Bayerns, the Barcelonas. We're talking about those big clubs. They're going to try and play that way. So I love that whole idea that Ted tried to come up with himself and stuff like that. It's brilliant. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Again, it's developing, and I cannot wait for next week's episode. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.